One of the huge mistakes that Teresa and I have seen in leaders all the time, and we've been victim ourselves, is falling into the trap of taskiness. So when you're a nurse leader, it's so easy to just get stuck in your office and start working on that to-do list and to forget that you have people outside of that door that need your attention. And they do. They need your attention. So it's very easy to get stuck in that. You got timekeeping, you got scheduling, you got closing out patient safety reports.
If you don't have some unstructured quality time with your staff, you're making a huge mistake. This is a huge gap in your ability to connect with your staff. And it might seem like a waste of time when the list of to-dos is so long and never ending, by the way. But trust us, this list will never get smaller. It's never going to go away. So if you don't create this unstructured time with your team, you're just losing out on developing your own team and learning who they are as
And
people.
you probably are going to end up having more things on your to-do list because your trust is going to be low and your team is going to create more problems that they didn't need to create because they didn't feel engaged and they didn't trust you. So why does this unstructured time with your staff even matter? Well, it comes down to trust. We as leaders have mentored and supervised dozens of leaders who have made this mistake because they get stuck in the to-do list, they get stuck in taskiness, and they just think, I don't have time to go out and talk to my staff. I don't have time to engage. That is unproductive and I have too much to do. But you may not even be realizing it. But part of why your to-do list is so big might be because you're not doing this little critical tool. And this is a strategy that's causing you to waste hours and hours of time.
Here's the real breakdown. Unstructured time with your staff or hanging out with your staff helps you get to know them and supports building trust. One of the things when you hang out with your staff or you're just out there engaging with them, creating with them, designing with them, what you can do is actually identify solutions to your problems that you didn't even know were possible. This high trust means staff assume that you have their best intention, the best of intentions, and then they engage, they jump in to help, and they might solve the problems before they're actually problems for you.
Exactly.
And then that supports a positive culture.
For sure. But on the flip side, if you're not doing this, if you're going to have low trust scores, and low trust tends to look like gossip, dissent, sick calls, complaining, and these behaviors cause you to increase micromanaging and have more things to put on your tasky list, and you're going to spend more time on things like what?
Oh my gosh, managing your staff in fighting. So-and-so said this, blah, 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 blah. Dispelling misconceptions, dealing with covering sick calls, formal complaints.
Oh, yeah. Your staff are going to give you a lot more formal complaints when they don't trust you and they don't think that you have your best interests. And that's more likely to happen if you haven't spent any time with them. They're going to assume the worst. They're going to be like, Cindy did this thing, and I think it's because she has an agenda and she's trying to do blah, blah, blah. And they go on they make these stories and they think that you're not out for their best interest.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that it's their best interest you have at heart. So we next want to go into the strategies that will help you never make this mistake again.
Yeah. So a really good one to do, these are just a couple of ideas that you can do to help you structure this into your time because it does get hard to make this a priority. So do it in a way that's not going to make it harder for you. So if you're managing a 24-hour unit, maybe you come in a little bit early and you just hang out with your team. Maybe you ask them if they need help. You help them get their patients out of bed. You help them run something down to the lab. You're going to help them, grab a blanket for them, whatever that is. Or if there's nothing going on, if they've already gotten all their tests done, maybe you just hang out at the nurse's station and you talk with them. You ask them about their lives. This isn't just always a talk conversation about work. If you want your team to trust you, you need to know them. You need to know who they are, what's important to them, who's also in their life outside of the people that they're working with day to day.
I also wanted to point out that we made another video that'll help you conceptualize this a little better. And it's, are you a manager or a leader?
Yes.
And it will kind of help delineate what the importance of the different things are. Another thing you can do is set a timer to walk out of your office in specific intervals, whenever it makes sense, lunch, afternoon, shift change, whatever works well for you. Is there a time where you know that your clinic usually has a little bit of a lull, or your dialysis unit, or whatever area you work in? Make sure you find those little spots where you know it's a good time. If you can't focus, go hang out with your staff for a little bit. Like sometimes your brain is not going to work. What's the point in wasting your time? You might as well go out, do rounds with your staff, create
Yes.
that environment where they know you care.
Yeah, that is always a good way to regroup and get your brain thinking about something else if it's just not going to be on track. Another thing that might help you is to schedule some team building activities. Keep it simple. If you don't know how to do this, if you know how to run like a group team meeting or a staff meeting, check out our video on how to plan for a staff meeting. That will be helpful in giving you some ideas on what to do and how to engage and create some engagement on your team.
It's so true. One of the things I've done a lot is engaging my staffs in my one-to-one meetings, going for a walk
Oh,
instead.
yeah.
Like if the weather's decent, even if it's not great, there's certain areas we can walk inside and we just find places to walk inside if the weather's not great, but we need to move. It also helps them get their brain right, or they have to remember some of those important things they wanted to bring up to you.
Yeah. So if you are going to do this, though, try to make sure that you're spreading the love out. You don't want to always ask the same person to go on a walk with you. That's going to be construed as you have a favorite person, and it might make your other team members feel like you're not being fair. So if you are going to do it, it's a great idea, but try to spread out the love and be consistently even across the board so that your team feels like they all get a chance to spend some time with you.
So your next one is going to be scheduling time for life catching up in your one-to-ones. How are you doing? I remember you said something about your mom struggling or was sick, or how are your kids? I heard your daughter started kindergarten. How is that going? Those types of questions where you show you're paying attention to them and their lives matter to you.
And maybe your employees are in school. How's school going? Can you do something on the unit to make that a little bit easier for them? Do they need to work a different shift so they have a little bit less pressure when they're at work? Yeah, those are great things to ask.
Yeah, keeping it personal. So we're going to go back over the 6 strategies to help never make this mistake again, as getting too trapped into the taskiness of what being a nurse manager is. So those are: come in early and don't log on to your computer. Don't even look at it yet. Say hi to your staff. 2, set a timer, walk out of your office at specific intervals. 3, can't focus, go hang out with your staff. 4, schedule team building activities, whatever that looks like. 5, invite a staff member to go on a walk with you during their one-to-one or any other time. And then 6, as long as patients are safe, of course. And 6, schedule time for life catching up in one-to-ones. Just build that in there, ask a few questions that matter to them, keep it simple.
Yep. Some final thoughts are the higher up in leadership you go, the harder it is to make time for these things. So you're going to be more strategic as you get higher up. If you're not managing frontline staff anymore and you're managing managers, or maybe you're a CNO, that's going to be a little bit harder. And you've got to actually put that into your calendar. And you've got to be willing to keep that commitment. It's really easy to say that that's not a priority. But if you don't make that a priority, you will pay for it. You will get the consequences of that loss of trust that we talked about earlier. So if you found this video helpful, please tune in, subscribe to us. We've got lots of videos out there for nurse leaders, wherever you are on the journey, tips and tricks. We had to make a lot of mistakes. We watched a lot of other people make mistakes.
And one last tip, if you're putting it on your calendar and you're higher up in leadership and people can see it, call it a high priority meeting.
I like that one. Then other people won't try to schedule over it.
Because that's what happens when you get higher and higher. Everything is scheduled over everything.
Everybody wants a piece of the pie, a piece of the Taresa pie.
Good, Cindy.
Yep. So thanks. Goodbye, dumpster fire friends.